Playing as a goalkeeper in the 90s or 2000s is a lot different to the role a modern day goalkeeper has to play, and if you're a goalkeeper yourself, Alisson Becker is one of the best to mould your game on, and it's not just about his shot stopping, as you'll see in this video. So how do you play like Alisson Becker? Well, first of all, having a high level of shot stopping ability is a fundamental for any top level goalkeeper, and Alisson is no exception. Having the capabilities to stop a variety of different shots, whether from long range where his footwork needs to be efficient, to shift across his line before leaping and using his long frame to push the ball away and out. But he's also capable of making saves from closer range where the push out becomes even more important to deny an opposition attacker a simple chance for a rebound or a 1v1 situation, wherefrom Alisson uses a specific tactic to increase his chance of making the save. So what is that tactic? Well, it seems simple, but Alisson does it incredibly effectively, and that's rushing out and making yourself as big as possible. We can see here in a game against Chelsea that Eden Hazard manages to break away from the high Liverpool back line, being set through in a 1v1, and he has time to think about his finish as he approaches Alisson's net. And if you watch Alisson, you can see that he doesn't rush out recklessly, approaching the player at too much speed, as this makes you vulnerable to the opposition player just feinting to go one way, throwing you off balance before rounding you and finishing into an empty net. Instead, Alisson gets out as quickly as possible while still holding his balance upright and keeping his knees bent. And the reason he looks to get out as early as possible is because it not only gives the attacker less time to think about his finish, increasing the pressure on him, but it also stops him getting close to goal while simultaneously reducing the angle from where he's shooting from. Therefore, as Hazard is about to take the shot, you can see that he's only just inside the box, with Alisson around 5 yards away from him, making the goal look small and Alisson look big, which ultimately allows a Brazilian to make the save. And he does the same here in a game against Manchester City, as Aguero gets slipped into a wide position inside of the box, in behind Virgil van Dijk. Alisson knows that if he gives Aguero too much time, the City striker can adjust his body positioning to face the goal and set himself for a strike. But by rushing out, Alisson narrows down the angle, stopping Aguero adjusting his body positioning, and in this example we see the benefit of not overcommitting as a keeper and remaining composed, as had Alisson rushed out recklessly as Aguero is trying to round him, he wouldn't have been able to readjust, leaving Aguero with an empty net. But because Alisson is composed and remains upright, when Aguero does try to go round him, he's able to adjust quickly and dive down to make the save. And so if you find yourself in a 1v1 situation as a goalkeeper, getting out quickly whilst also remaining composed and not overcommitting is essential, as you aren't just closing down the angle, but it also allows you to react quickly if the striker does attempt to round you, as Aguero does here. However, what makes Alisson stand out against other keepers is how he's able to incorporate every aspect of what a modern day goalkeeper needs in his game, allowing Jurgen Klopp to use specific tactics that he otherwise wouldn't be able to use with another keeper who didn't have those attributes. But what are those tactics? Well, I'll come on to that in just a bit, but first, those attributes that Alisson has is his ball playing and sweeping ability. In possession with the ball at his feet, Alisson has the composure needed to receive the ball under pressure inside of his own box, and not panic as opposition players are racing towards him, but instead remain calm before getting the ball out of his feet and finding a forward pass into a player between the lines or playing a long pass upfield. And this is an essential aspect of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool system, as Alisson becomes an 11th outfield player, which naturally gives Liverpool an overload in the defensive third, meaning that if the opposition are pressing aggressively and efficiently, Liverpool should still be able to play through the press with the use of the extra man. But we've also seen Alisson utilise his ball playing ability in a more direct way, such as when he's able to claim the ball from a cross, and rather than holding on to the ball and waiting for his side and the opposition to get back into position, just as he did for Mo Salah's goal at Anfield against Manchester United back in 2020, Alisson's able to claim the ball after a Manchester United corner and immediately spots Mo Salah has run off the last Manchester United defender, being on the halfway line around 10 to 15 yards ahead of them. But this time Alisson uses a sideways drop kick to arrow the ball over the United defenders straight into Salah's path, who can race through on goal before finishing in the 1v1 past David De Gea. And so if you want to play like Alisson, developing a variety of different long passes, be it out of your hands or with the ball on the ground, is going to significantly enhance your value to your team, enabling you to switch play quickly or release attackers in behind the back line, catching the opposition out of position. However, Alisson's sweeping ability is arguably even more important to Liverpool, as with Jurgen Klopp looking to utilise an incredibly high back line, they look to push up and play an offside trap. In order to compress the space between the lines of their defensive shape, there of course is a lot of space left in behind the Liverpool back line. Now usually this would leave Liverpool vulnerable to the opposition playing a long pass over their back line, with their forwards having a lot of space to run into. However, with Alisson in goal, Liverpool have a keeper who doesn't just take up a high starting position, anticipating this sort of pass before it comes, but also an athletic and physically commanding keeper who can use his reading of the game to race out quickly and clear through balls that get played in behind. Now, in order to develop this sweeping ability, making sure that you're as agile and athletic as possible is of course a necessary, but you also need to keep concentrated throughout a match and gain an instinct for where and when a long pass is coming and where the ball is likely to land, which will allow you to adjust your positioning and give you an advantage against the opposition forwards when racing out. So overall, in order to play like Alisson Becker, you first need to develop the fundamentals of being a goalkeeper, such as your reflexes, shot stopping, and commanding of your area, though specifically noting how Alisson gets out quickly when attackers are released into 1v1s, but manages to retain his balance and spread himself big is probably the most useful of all his attributes, whilst developing the ball playing ability and sweeping ability simultaneously is going to make you a tactical weapon for your side, exactly what a modern day keeper needs to be. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, check out some others and subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this.